about this fight? Listen, I'm ready for this fight to happen. Just I want to get Kane, into the octagon and get this fight over with. I'm excited he's back. I hope he stays healthy leading up to this event. We haven't had if it wasn't for bad luck, we'd have no luck at all this week. It's been a tough week for us, so I'm looking forward to getting this fight done.
Can you give your predictions? You're here, you're going to work in the fight as a commentator for Mayweather and Pacquaio. Can you talk about this fight?
About that fight? Yeah, I mean, I think the fight's going to be great. I think that obviously Pacquiao is very aggressive. I think Pacquiao is going to come in and go after Floyd the first 4 rounds. And then there's nobody better in the business at adjusting to guys' timing and rhythm and speed than Floyd Mayweather. And I see Floyd winning this fight by decision.
A lot of things going on this week for you, as you mentioned. How was everything with John Jones? Have you talked to him since you had the decision?
I haven't talked to John since we made our decision. I think John's just gonna handle what he's got going on, and the UFC should be the last thing he's worried about right now.
And how do you see this fight? How was the situation with Anthony and Cormier? Was it easy to put the fight together?
Yeah, Cormier was, as soon as he knew John Jones was in trouble, he was calling and begging for the fight. I love that about him. And Anthony Johnson is just excited to still be fighting for the title and not an interim title. Could it be the fight of the century? Listen, it's definitely a massive fight. I mean, I think things are starting to unravel right now. I was just telling stories here before we started this. I think we're going to see some things that, everybody's talking about how this thing's sold out. This thing isn't sold out. There's still a lot of tickets left of this thing in the secondary market. And, the boxing guys are so greedy. Here we go again, man. I think they might have. Room rates are dropping all over the city right now. They're dropping room rates. Tickets haven't been sold. It's not what it appears to be, but it will be massive on pay-per-view, and I think it's going to be a good fight.
What would be the fight of the century for UFC, for example?
The fight of the century? I mean, seriously. Is this the fight of the century? I mean, is this the fight of the century? This is a fight that people have wanted to see for a long time, and boxing doesn't do a lot of these. They used to. I mean, if you think back to the day when, think back to imagine if Tyson was fighting Lennox Lewis right now. This was a Tyson-Lennox Lewis fight. This fight would be massive. Back in the 90s, these fights happened all the time. But now with boxing's, you don't see these kind of fights anymore. And this fight, I believe that this fight happened when they were in their prime 6 years ago. It would be this big too. It would have still been this big.
But can you compare it to fights that you want to see it happening?
Oh, in MMA? I mean, the differences in MMA is we always do the fights, the big fights that the guys want to see. I mean, right now, our fight like that is Conor McGregor and Jose Aldo. I mean, if you saw the reception, with the world tour that we did $7 million. You're talking about featherweights, did $7 million, for a gate, which will be the biggest gate in the United States that we've ever done. In North America was $11 million. Think about this. We did $11 million gate in Toronto, right, with George St. Pierre. 56,000 people. This one here has 16,000 people, and it's $7 million gate. So this is a pretty big fight.
Dana, when it comes to Latin America, you pretty much are everywhere, but you're not in Cuba. Now, Cuba relationship with the United States is changing. I wonder if you would like to do something with the UFC and go to Cuba now that you can.
It's crazy that you said that to me. Somebody sent me a picture, like 8 months ago of a car in Cuba with a UFC sticker in the back window. And obviously now we have Yoel Romero, who's ranked in, I think, the top 6 in the world right now, from Cuba. Badass fighters have come out of Cuba,
That was one picture. I can show you right now more than 100 gyms in Cuba, in Havana, right now that they want to be UFC fighters.
I love it, man.
They want to know if now the relationships are changing, if you are willing to do something with the UFC,
yes,
going to Cuba.
Absolutely, man. I'd love to see, we want fighters from all over the world, Cuba included. And, yeah, that would be awesome.
Thank you, Dana.
Thank you.